I made a thing. Yeah, I made a word search game, and I don't have anybody to play it. You want to play it? You can't, because I don't know how to give you the link. But I'll show it to you. Let's generate a small puzzle and allow diagonals. How bored are you to be watching somebody do a word search? Huh, saw that one right away. Yep. Every line of code of this thing I did. I was obsessed with it. I got it done really quickly because I really wanted it to exist. Let's see. Looking for crack. There it is. I see it. I wanted the colors to, when I highlight the things, they alternate. It just like randomly picks a color from a set of colors that match the theme. And I wanted this like high contrast black theme. I had the backs of the cells black and the letters white, but it was so hard to look at, I had to fix it, especially on mobile because it's so small. It took a while to get the mobile formatting centered for this. I think it would be easier if I actually built it in in some kind of framework that was designed for mobile. This is just a HTML, CSS website, and everything's controlled by JavaScript. Polka. I don't even really like word searches a lot. Like, I really like other kinds of word puzzles. I built these the word ladder thing, but I thought it needed like a companion thing. Like if I were just gonna put it on a website or something, I needed options. Like maybe you don't like one kind of word puzzle, you like another kind. You might get bored with one. Anyway, this infinitely generates. It like maps the words. It just randomly selects from this word list that I have of like 38,000 words. I trimmed them down by obscurity. I use obscurity scores from some university psychology website and matched it with a spell check dictionary and picked like the most like words that had the obscurity. Like they're not super common words, but they are they had like an average obscurity, which as the like it's funny because very common words, there are fewer of them, ironically, which is weird. There are very few words that people say all the time that aren't like articles and prepositions. So the ones that have the mid-level obscurity are the ones that there are the most of. And so I kind of had to trim the list down to those words so that when it generated a puzzle, there was a bigger set of words to pull from. And then there are also like way more really obscure words that nobody ever uses that people don't know are words. And I don't want those in the list either. So I had to kind of trim both ends off the word list and get that middle section of words. When you generate a new puzzle, I'll show you. I was going to finish this one, but if you generate a new puzzle, I have this slider that allows word rarity, but the word rarity here is not, it doesn't go all the way down to the most common words, and it doesn't go up to the most obscure words. It's this little range that I've got on the slider just picks that middle 50%, because that's the biggest section of words. And so that slider is only in that set. And then you can set the grid size here, which I started with 20 by 20, but I'll show you with the 16 by 16. Like, that is ridiculous. You can imagine the 20 by 20 was like completely illegible on mobile. So yeah, I had to scale that down. But I think the 8 by 8 works really well. It's pretty good, and it always generates a pretty good word list. The first round of this, sometimes it would have words on the word bank that weren't actually in the word search, which that was incredibly frustrating. It's like, could you imagine sending this out to somebody and them not being able to find a word? What would happen is it would try to map the words, and then if one didn't fit, it would just leave it off when it would try to map them to the grid. And I had to write in a loop that would, if it failed, it would try again until it got a puzzle that actually works. And it'll loop like 100 times, but it usually only takes 1 or 2 tries for it to actually generate a puzzle that that actually works. And then it fills in the rest of the letters based on letter frequency. So you're not going to end up with a bunch of X's and Q's. Like the letter frequency, like the E's are going to be the most common, and S's and T's and R's, and then it goes down from there. So I think it works pretty well. And then I added direction controls too, because some people do not want diagonal, and I think it's also an accessibility thing. So you can turn diagonals on and off. And then backwards. I don't like having them on. I feel like if you're gonna spell a word, it needs to be spelled in the right direction. I don't know why I'm weird like that, but you can turn the backwards ones on too. I added that direction in there. It works as well as it could. I think it's completely shippable if you wanted to. I think my next step on this will be to like create one that where you can generate your own and print it out on like a PDF. So like you could put your own set of words in. I think that's something that might be useful for like teachers or something. So I think I'll do that, add this, and then I have my word ladder puzzle. And then I want to make a like a scramble, like where you rearrange letters to spell words. I'm planning that one out with the next, and I'll use the same word list for that. And I think, yeah, I think I'll package all those things together and put them on a website or something. But I don't know. Maybe I'll keep coming up with ideas and keep adding word puzzles. But this one works. I love the colors. I'm very happy with my neon cyberpunk kind of look to it. Yeah, let's see. What do we got? Let's find a word so we can look at that again. Told? No. Can't see. I need to turn the brightness up. All right, there we go. Can you see that? I wonder if that in your screen record, if you can tell that I have the brightness turned down. Loud. There's one. I just love those bright poppy colors. It just looks so good. Get. Told. I didn't really try to make it not overlap, but it seems like when it's gridding, it's very rare that it will overlap. I tried to make it do it more often, and I just need to mess with the logic a little bit. I think overlapping is kind of fun, but it also like I had to make sure I like made the logic so that it wouldn't overlap parallel, which means you wouldn't have a word inside of a word. I didn't want that to happen. I think that would be strange. That would not be expected behavior. Hey, words. Anyway, that's fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Love you. Bye.